Hey everyone, Emily here and welcome to my kitchen. One of my favorite things to make is pasta salad, and today we're kind of doing a bit of a different take on that, making an orzo salad. I see these all the time on the internet and they look super good, but they always seem to have feta in there. It's really popular to make these as a Greek salad, and I'm just not a fan of feta. But the best thing about salads is you can make them however you want. So we're going to rework the flavors on this, throw in a few things that I have in my garden, and make a really nice, fresh, lemony orzo salad. I'll show you how to put this together. It's super simple. Let's get started. From start to finish, this recipe only takes about 10 minutes, and that's because orzo is so quick to cook. This is going to cook up in about 5 minutes. I'm going to start by putting about 2 cups into a pot of boiling salted water. While the orzo cooks, I'm going to get my vegetables all chopped up and ready for the salad. I'm going to start by chopping up 1 large tomato. You can use a couple of smaller ones, but this is what I have from my garden. I'm going to do a pretty chunky dice for my tomato, so I have nice big pieces. What would also work really well in here are cherry tomatoes, and you could just cut those right in half. Put this straight into the bowl that I'm going to put the salad together in, and work on my other half of a tomato here. Now I'm going to move on to my cucumbers. This is just what I happen to have in my garden, so if you're making this and you would prefer to add something else, or you have other vegetables that you want to use up, go ahead and change it up. A lot of different things will work fantastic in this salad. Just going to cut those in half lengthwise and then slice this into a half moon shape. It's a fairly small cucumber, so I'm going to use 2. To this, I'm going to add half of a sliced red onion. This will add a nice little bite to the pasta salad. I'll slice this in half and then into a quarter, and then I'll go ahead and give that a slice across. They always get me. That's pretty much all the chopping we have to do for the large vegetables. I'm going to move on to my black olives. Go ahead and drain 1 can of black olives. I'm using whole olives. I'll just give these a rough chop so they're not in super small pieces, but they're a little bit more bite size. Green olives would also be fantastic in here, or Kalamata olives. I just prefer the regular black olives, so that's what I'm using. Now I'm going to move on to my fresh herbs. I have a good bundle of parsley here. Again, this is just what I have in my garden, so you could substitute this for another herb that you like or leave it out altogether if you're not a fan of parsley. I happen to love it, so I'm going to add quite a bit. Give this a nice chop up and add it directly into my bowl. I also have some basil here from my garden, and I can hear my pasta done on the stove. The timer just went off. So I'm going to finish picking off these basil leaves, and then I'm going to rinse and drain my pasta. Make sure you rinse the orzo in cold water. This is going to stop the cooking, and then drain it well in a colander. My pasta is drained and sitting in the sink waiting to be added to the salad. I'm just going to finish chopping up my herbs, and then we're going to throw this all together. I'm going to bundle up my basil here and give this a quick slice across. This gives you these nice little ribbons. Add that right into my bowl. And now I'm ready to add in my orzo. Make sure this is completely cooled before you toss it in. I'm going to give this a quick toss to just loosely combine everything. We still have to add the dressing in. But doesn't this look so pretty? This is going to be so delicious. It smells great, and we haven't even added in the lemon yet. Love that. I'll set that aside, and now we're going to move on to our dressing. I'm going to start off by zesting 2 lemons. These have been washed very well. I'm just using the fine edge of my box grater here and just being careful to get the outside yellow off. Once you get down to that white pith, you want to leave that behind. That's going to have a very bitter flavor, and all of that nice bright lemon flavor is going to be in the bright yellow zest. This one looks good. I'll move on to my second one. Now I love a lot of lemon flavor, so if you like a little less, you can omit the lemon zest or just use the zest of 1 lemon. I'm going to add my lemon zest into our dressing bowl. Set that aside. I'll cut my lemons in half. Pick out any visible seeds and juice them directly into the bowl. A little trick is to juice them cut side up and over your hand. This is going to reduce the chance of any of the seeds falling in. You can see a couple of seeds pop to the surface, but they stayed on the lemon since I'm juicing cut side up. Then your hand is there just to catch anything that might fall through. Or you can just use a juicer, which I don't have. To this, I'm going to add 1 clove of minced garlic. I don't want to have a super garlicky flavor, so I'm just adding 1 clove. If you like a little bit more garlic, you can definitely add more. I just wanted to have a hint of garlic flavor. Give this a really fine mince so that it mixes up well in the dressing. I'll add that into my bowl. And then finally, we're going to add in a good amount of olive oil. Keep in mind, this is a large salad. Give this a little bit of a whisk. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of pepper. I love a lot of black pepper, add as much as you like. And I'm just going to add a little shake of salt. You can always add more salt later. I don't want to over salt this because I am going to add some grated Parmesan, and that's going to add quite a bit of saltiness to this. Once you have your dressing mixed together, give that a nice pour over the top of your salad. And once again, we'll toss this to combine. This is going to be fantastic. All right, we're ready for our last ingredient, and that's the Parmesan cheese. I'm going to use the fine edge of my box grater and give this Parmesan a quick grate. I'm going to use up what I have, hopefully getting about 1/3 cup out of this. I got a nice pile of cheese here out of my Parmesan ends. I would say anywhere between 1/2 cup and 1/3 cup is going to be just perfect for this, but you can always add more if you like. I'll add that directly into my pasta salad. And that's going to be our final ingredient, aside from adjusting the salt once we give it a taste. I'll mix this together. Incorporate that cheese throughout the mixture. This salad is so pretty, and it's going to taste amazing. And most of this straight out of the garden too, which is so much fun. All right, I'll give this a taste and see if we need to adjust our salt. This is perfect, doesn't need any additional salt. So very important, go light on the salt when you're making the dressing because the Parmesan adds quite a bit. So good. I'm going to grab a bowl and serve this up and give it a try. This is going to be so good. If you want to make this a little bit more substantial, you could also add in a can of drained white beans or chickpeas, whatever you prefer. That would make it just a little bit more filling and add in some more protein. All right, let's give this a try. I'll get some olives, some tomato, some cucumber in here. nice little bite. This is so good. This is absolutely fantastic. Has a nice bright flavor because of all of that lemon, and it's super fresh and crunchy with all of those vegetables thrown in from the garden. This is the perfect flavor combination, especially if you're not a fan of feta cheese. The Parmesan still gives it a nice little bite and adds in a nice salty flavor as well. You could throw in some mint or whatever you like to this salad to make it your own, but I think this is the perfect combination of flavors. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and hit subscribe so you can get notified every single time I post. If you make this recipe, let me know how you like it in the comments section down below. You can find the full recipe to this, as always, in the description box, along with links to all of my social media pages and my Amazon page for all of my cooking favorites. Hope to see you back here next time.